This week, we're going to be talking about SteadyContent, one of our newest marketplace services. My name is Amy. I'm the director of go-to-market, fancy way for saying marketing, here at Vendasta. And our special guest, the reason why you are likely all here, is Matt Gerchow. He's the founder of SteadyContent. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
Awesome. We'll get to your good stuff, your content shortly. Thank you for joining us. So if you have questions, just like every weekly webinar we host, this is for you. So we will get to your questions, put them in the Q&A, put them in the chat. And if we don't get to them during the session, we'll get to them right after the presentation is complete. So before we kick it off with everything to do with SteadyContent, I wanted to quickly review our February releases. Now, you are getting a sneak peek. Our Product Insider, which is our monthly newsletter, is going out, I believe, in the next hour or so. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what we have coming, what you may already know of this month. So Task Manager was released on February 7th. This is an application previously known as Concierge, and it's really a fulfillment piece. It helps with transparency for you and your clients. Now, this is very exciting and released today. We now have multi-location features in Business Center. So, give businesses with multiple locations, like brands, chains, and franchises, one dashboard to manage their online presence. We're releasing this in what we call a beta phase, meaning we're looking for feedback. It still is completely functioning software, but you will see improvements coming along the way. The use of users of Listing Builder now have the ability to connect and sync their Instagram business profile listing for free. So Listing Sync is the base of all of our listing offerings. It is a free offer. It's sort of freemium. You can work your way up to paying for more and more. But the app we all know and love and want more information on, Instagram, is now available. That's also a release today. Facebook recommendations are now available in reputation management. So hopefully you're all aware, but a few months ago, Facebook changed their rating system. So they no longer support stars and ratings, and now they've moved over to recommendations. And those changes are now reflected in reputation management. We also have Facebook Insights in social marketing. So, the whole point about posting on social media is for you and your clients to know, to drive engagement and for you to know if your posts are succeeding. And now we have stats and insight on all of the posts that are going out. So this one's really exciting and was highly requested. Instagram, another thing we're doing with Instagram, those mentions are now going to appear in social marketing. So if your client is tagged in a caption, so at Living Sky Bakery has the best donuts in town, that will appear in social marketing. If it's tagged in a comment, that will also appear in social marketing. And we continue to make more and more improvements and integrations with Instagram. So on the front for advertising intelligence, this is coming soon. By next week, Wednesday, we'll have expanded campaign statistics. And this is really vital for those who are dealing with multi-locations. All right, so that was a brief sneak peek of what's coming. Again, you'll all receive that Product Insider probably the next hour while we're on this webinar. And the reason we're all here is to talk about SteadyContent. Now, did you know that 95% of enterprise marketers use content marketing? Matt, tell us a little bit about what this slide is trying to portray.
So this is just telling us that the biggest companies in the world are all using content marketing. Some of us are small businesses, and a small business is anybody that does $25 million a year or less. Probably most of us on this call fit into that category, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to operate like a big business. And so this slide is just demonstrating that the large companies that are out there are all using content marketing.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we're going to get into the offering, the service, the details. But first, I really wanted Matt, thank you again for joining us, to explain a little bit about SteadyContent and the business, the company, the face, you behind this amazing service.
So we've been at this for a little while now. We've been serving content since 2010. I've used it in order to create probably 7 different businesses and use the same model that I'm going to show you today in order to create content for them. And through a lot of challenges that exist out in the market, we found that having a strong team of writers, editors, SEO professionals, keyword experts helps us put together businesses that become stable and can react quickly to the various algorithm updates that happen in Google.
So the offering, what SteadyContent really offers as a service. Matt, did you want to take it from here?
Sure. So it looks like it went ahead and grabbed a couple of the slides there on the way that shouldn't have done. Let's see how do I take the screen?
There should be a control panel and there'll be a green button that says share. And if you hit that, yeah, it should just give you access.
Okay. Okay.
Great, I can see your screen now.
Uh-oh. Okay, so
Perfect.
2 words that I want to talk about are trust and connection. So if you don't take down anything else from this today, it's just trust and connection. This is what we have to work on in order to get our message out to our clients. And really, this is what separates successful companies from companies that their income roller coasters, and sometimes they find themselves just plain out of business. The challenge that comes up, though, is most people are busy running their business and they just don't have time to post on their blog. So the question becomes either they don't do it, or you get engaged with it for a couple of weeks and you might write 10 or 12 posts and you schedule them out over, to go out once a week for a couple of months. But then you look back a year later and you're like, oh yeah, that was that time when I was really on it. And what happens to your clients, though, is they can end up looking at it and thinking, if they don't see a post since April, they might think that you've gone out of business. People trust sites that they have a regular connection with. And the way that we connect is by posting content, and the way that we connect on a regular basis is by doing it regularly. And Google actually has what's called a freshness update, where they look at websites for how late, how recent was their last post, and then ranks them according to that. So when they're getting something like whatever's going on in the news right now, especially if we can create content that's around your business that somehow relates to the border wall or some other hot topic in the States or whatever country you're in, then that content, they're going to look at the publish date and they're going to rank it accordingly, because they're going to assume that this is what people are looking for today, and by their searches as well. So failure, though, to connect on the regular basis, it creates an opening for your competitors. That means that if you're not in people's inboxes with new content, or on their social network showing them your new content on a regular basis, then someone else is. And you see it. I mean, we're bombarded every day by emails and posts and social and you name it. So we've been paid quite a bit of money. I've been paid up to $200,000 a month by large companies to put this in place for them. And what this does is it keeps your blog updated with content that doesn't damage your brand. And so a lot of times what happens is people hire writers. I don't know if any of you on this call have hired writers before. You can ask in the chat and we can talk about that. But the entire reason that this company exists is because I hired a lot of writers and had a lot of failed experiences. I would hire a writer. They'd crank out 10 articles for me. They'd send them back in like 2 days, and I'd be like, wow, that's awesome. But I still had to do a final edit. I still had to post them to WordPress, find an image, do the formatting on WordPress, schedule them out. And it was like an extra 20 or 30 minutes per article times 10 articles. Well, there's 6 hours or whatever that number is that you get, 5 hours that you've got to spend in addition once you get the content back. Well, so that's okay. That's, you can probably pay someone to do that. But what happens is then you send out, okay, I need 10 more articles. And writers are not the most disciplined people. What would happen then is they would take someone else's business that could pay them today, and they would crank them out and get them to them in 2 days. And then I would get left. I have one writer that I tried this with a couple of years ago. I needed something one day, and I just like, well, let me test it again. And I'm still waiting for 4 of the 10 articles on the second set, just to give that example. So what happens a lot of times is the second time you go to hire them, they don't perform as well. So we have a lot of checks and balances built in based on word count, based on the writer's experience with us, how many articles they're allowed to check out, how many hours they're allowed to have each article out. And what we offer through the Vendasta platform is a program where you can get 4 blog posts, that's 1 per week, onto your WordPress website, and each one will have 600 words of content. Sorry, I said a little sip of water. We'll post them directly to your site. So we do all the professional editing. We'll do the keyword research on these. We add the relevant images, and we post them into WordPress in draft mode, so that all you have to do is go on when you get your notification, and you have 2 choices. We can set them to auto approve in 72 hours, or you can set it up to where you go in and just approve them, and then they go live. So they can sit forever if they need to. We have a proprietary WordPress plugin that you can download. It's called Content Writer, and that's what allows us to do the posting behind the scenes. Now, if you don't have this plugin installed, like let's say that your client doesn't have WordPress, you guys, actually, if you could answer me in the chat, just so I could get an idea, how many of you are looking at this for your business versus for your clients' businesses. But let's say your client doesn't want to install the WordPress plugin, we can deliver by email. Or if they don't have WordPress, like if they're using Joomla or Drupal or Squarespace or one of the other platforms out there. So when we post up to WordPress, we send you an email and we send you a text message, or one of either each or one alone, to let you know. So we can definitely get you notified, and you won't have like a situation where content's been sitting up there for a month and no one's putting them live. We're really in your face looking for those approvals. Okay, so here's the process from start to finish. It's pretty straightforward. Your client has to download the WordPress plugin that just allows us to post to the site. It literally takes 45 seconds to activate it. You can search from it even from within WordPress. It's not a problem. From there, we'll do research on your business. We do some keyword research sometimes. If you don't have keywords, if you don't know which keywords you're trying to target, we're happy to help you out with that and generate a list of 50 or so in order to write articles from. Now, something else that's interesting is following that Google Freshness update, we can actually go in and add content, if you like, to your existing posts. So let's say you've got 10 posts in there that are 350 words. Well, we can go in and add 600 words to each of those over time, and then that'll get those ranking again if they've lost ranking, or just make the initial pages stronger. Okay, so once we've done the research, we're going to be notifying you through the notification stream. Oh, sorry. Once your content's complete, we'll notify you through the notification stream that you're ready for approval, and then you can approve or request changes to the content. We're happy to do unlimited revisions for you. And we can also keep you with specific writers as you like as you like the writing of a specific writer, then we can keep you with that person. So then we post in draft mode. The client receives an email and text message notifying them. It's essentially the same stuff we just went through. The first blog is delivered within 30 days of activation. That's a high side. We did an activation the other day. We had 4 blog posts ready in 2 days, just to give you a low side as well. And then we'll schedule those out. Then the following blogs are delivered and posted to the client's website. So after the first one is active, we're going to send out 1 blog a week, and from that point forward. So a little bit about us. We have 576 active writers, but I don't like to put the focus on how many writers or how many editors we have. What you're engaging with us is our team, right? What large companies pay us big money for is in order to engage our team. That's our keyword research experts, our SEO experts, our writers, our bloggers, our professional editors. It's the combination of all of them with really, really amazing software. I should have thrown a couple of screenshots in here to the back end of how we process things, but the content actually goes through 19 stages of approval and gets a different set of eyeballs on it. Sometimes it's the same set of eyeballs that saw it a couple stages before, but it gets a different set of eyeballs on all 19 stages in order to create just absolute high quality content. This is an important one that comes up a lot when people are contracting with us. It's that, is English a first language? Yes, we run our writers through several tests. So they have to pass an English skills test, a content formatting test. They have to write 2 test articles. We test them to meeting deadlines. If someone misses 2 times, if they miss the 6 hours or 12 hours allotted, then we put them on pause and talk to them. If they miss another one, then they're no longer writing for us. Only 5% of the writers that apply, so 5 out of 100 make it into our system. And then we don't even hire editors from outside. We found that professional editors or people with editing experience are totally different than blog writers. So we only promote from the writers, some of our best writers, we promote them on to be editors for us. Okay, so the following is a slide set that is how to sell this package to your clients.
And Matt, I just want to interject very quickly. So what Matt is going to go through is a fantastic sales presentation and a sort of positioning of, if you were talking to a client, how you could potentially sell this to them. And this entire slide deck that Matt is going to go through with the black background is currently in the product page. So you have this asset available to you to use right away. So I'll let you continue, Matt. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so SteadyContent helps your clients grow their website traffic. I'm just going to read through this while you aren't there pushing it forward for them, okay? By having automated content every single week, their web presence steadily grows. Creating content weekly allows business owners to invest in their future beyond running ads. When ads stop, okay, your leads stop. When you help people build a strong web presence, it shows that you care about the long-term health of their business, not just the immediate retainer. So I want to preface this with another thing, and this is maybe a little more business-centric to, business, what's the word I'm looking for? It's central to your business health in that you're selling agency services to your customer, okay? And a lot of times they get the agency bill and it's $1,500 a month or whatever your retainer is. And what do? Okay, they go to their website and they say, well, website looks the same. I guess we're doing business, but there's always this question: is should they pay should they pay that retainer again? Should they continue doing this? I can tell you that having these 4 posts a month goes over very, very well with the CEO of the business as they look at their blog and they see these 4 posts and they say, okay, yeah, at least we know they're doing something. So, steady content, okay? It is known that having a blog gives you an average of 4 times more pages indexed in Google. And that follows the freshness scale there. You just have more content for Google to work with. If you have, a common agency sale to a client might be a 5-page website, right? And no blog. Well, Google has 5 chances out of 4 billion sites to rank them. But if they have a blog and you're posting 52 times a year, well, now they've got 57 times out of 4 billion pages to rank. And it's not a high increase in probability, but what you can do and what will help you do is identify some longer terms that we can get them ranking for, so you can show them. Let's say it's only 20 searches a month for a longer term, but if we can capture and own that term, now you're getting them 20 visits guaranteed that they didn't have before. So you ask them, do you currently have a blog in addition to your website? A lot of times people don't even know what a blog is. Ask them, how often are you adding new content, blog posts to your blog? Answer, I don't really have time for that. Well, how do you feel about that frequency? How does that make you feel? Well, it doesn't make them feel that good, but they don't really know what they're missing a lot of times. So should we increase your rate of new posts? Yeah, that would be good, but again, that sounds expensive. So what do you think's holding them back? Usually it's that they either don't have the time to do it themselves, or they don't want to invest the money to hire a team that's going to do it from a position that won't actually hurt them by posting like straight SEO content or posting content. I got a friend in Mallorca, Spain. He hired some writers, and they were literally, he has a rental car company. They were writing on his blog that you shouldn't use this company. And I just thought that was so crazy. Do you find it a hassle or distraction to create new blog posts? Yes, of course they do, right? These are just questions that you ask them as you're going through the process. You kind of know what the answers are to these questions, but you want to reassert the problem into their mind. So the reason that I ask this is that for many new businesses, it's either pain in the where to create new content, or they don't know exactly what to write. And what that leads to is a blog with fewer posts than it should have, which ultimately means you're going to miss opportunity on leads and sales into your business, because when people go looking for something of your nature, you're just not there. And so 58% of people, as they go to search for a product, they do not have a particular brand in mind that they're going to purchase from. So creating content is by far the best form of SEO. You want to have it be industry specific, and you want it to have relevancy to your niche. You don't want to do link building. I don't know if anyone's, and I hope I'm not stepping on any toes, but link building is not working right now. I have some sites that I've made just under $1 million on, and they had lost a lot of their juice, their rank juice. And I had a 130 website PBN hooked up that I built. It would cost me upwards of $13,000 to build it. And it was costing me about $300 a month to maintain it. One day I just decided, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm just going to create more content for these sites. As soon as I killed the PBNs, I let the hosting expire for them. Within 3 months, all my ranking came back on the sites. I do not recommend link building. Okay. Now you can do social media posting, and that's helpful, but what you want to do is you want to bring them back to your blog, because in the social media, you know, something that your aunt is doing is right beneath that, or their aunt is doing is right beneath that. So you want to get them over to the blog as quickly as possible and have them engage there, because now you've got their focused attention. So photos and videos on Instagram, that's helpful, but it's not content that educates them as to what your business does. Now, videos can be very useful, but for any of you out there that are creating videos on a regular basis, you know that that is a lot of work. We do upwards of 300 videos a month for clients, and I can tell you it is a lot of work. So what we found to be best is the good old-fashioned long-form content. And that's just, you know, 500 to 2,000 words of content on the site. So how can we help? Well, we offer a monthly service, and this is just you talking to them. We offer a monthly service to create and post blogs for you. Each week, you'd receive a 600-word high-quality blog post delivered directly to your site. That'd be 4 posts per month. It's hands-off for you. We do all the work, and your blog will continue to grow and update with new relevant content. The benefits of this. Well, it helps the SEO of your website because Google sees you as an expert. Why? Because you're consistently producing high-quality content. And that's going to lead to more inbound site visitors without a one-for-one cost like advertising. Okay? So I have sites out there that are 100% SEO driven, and I spend $0 on advertising a month and make, I don't know, I've got a couple that make $6,000 residual. I've got another one that makes $2,000 residual, and I don't drive any traffic to them at all. They're all video or blog posts, and that drives all the business. But now that same traffic, let's say that they get a combined 12,000 visitors a month, I would pay $3.44 per click for that traffic. So it'd be like $36,000 a month. Well, you can see if I'm spending $36,000 a month and I'm making $8,000 a month, that's just never going to work. So there's a lot of businesses out there that have a product that they sell, or they can get a revenue out of traffic, out of a X amount of traffic, in order to, they can get $8,000 on 12,000 visitors. Okay, but they could never afford to buy that traffic, and that's why we have to do content still. Essentially, that's what I'm saying there, is adding content costs you once, then you see traffic for years to come. This is just another reference to our writers and editors. Writers are top quality. English is their first language. Okay, content marketing costs 60% less than outbound marketing, and that outbound marketing is direct mail, and ad marketing, and it generates 3 times as many leads. So the content creation process, we'll research your niche, we'll write your content. You've seen this before. You'll approve it with 1 click from your cell phone, and we'll post it directly to your site with an image, and then we'll repeat the process. So this is what you talk to them about. We have a special price right now. This is what we suggest you sell it at, is $297. It's $75 a blog post. That's for 600 words. It's month to month. There's no long-term contract. You can cancel at any time. You can even put it on hold. So I'm just going to open it up to thoughts and questions. Amy, I'll let you take it back.
Wonderful, thank you. And thanks for going through that, Matt. We hear you, our partners, loud and clear when you say that, you know, you want more content, you want more slides and brochures and things to help you sell services. So that's the idea behind content like this. And like I mentioned, it is in that product page. Now, before we get to your questions, and there are a few, thank you so much for participating. I kind of anticipated, Matt and I did, a few questions you might have. So we're just gonna go through a few of those very quickly, and then we'll open it up to yours. Matt, can you see my screen okay? The recommended retail price? Perfect. So this is a question we always get, and this is one of the key reasons why, you know, there's an upside to purchasing through Marketplace. The price for Steady Content blogs, like Matt mentioned, is $200. And the recommended retail is $297. So that works out at about $50 per post, which is your price, and then 75 per post that you can resell that for. So you're at about a 33% margin. With all of our marketplace products, we try to hit at least a 30% margin or higher to give you that sort of ability to sell at whatever price is best for your clients. And this is just a recommendation. You know, you could go lower. You probably don't need to. You could go higher, and it also depends on what you're sort of bundling it with. Now, this is a good question. We did get it quite a bit before, and Matt did go through it. How are the blogs posted automatically to the client's website? Now, again, like Matt mentioned, you can use that automatic service if the client or you have that WordPress site, or it could the content can also be emailed. But there is a plugin, and I went through this process. It's, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe. It's very simple to do, and that's where this service kind of stands apart, and it helps with the positioning and the selling of it. You know, you buy the blogs, you like them, they get posted. There isn't a lot of work on the client's end if they don't want there to be. And the knowledge of the writers, and again, it's not just writers, it's the team. Matt, would you like to speak to this?
Yes, I sure would, except I was on mute.
Oh, no worries.
So we talked about that earlier a little bit. You're engaging our keyword research experts, our SEO experts, our professional admin, our development team. We've created an amazing piece of software that pushes all of the content out, and we just don't miss ever. So you're engaging this is more than writers. This is allowing you to outsource your content to a team that's competent.
Great, thank you, Matt. So there's a few questions that I see, Matt, you've answered already, and just for the sake of the rest of the attendees, I'm just going to read them out loud. So Bruce let us know that for his own business, he uses Wix and not WordPress, and absolutely Steady Content, Matt and his team can still deliver. Like we mentioned, those blogs can be, that content can be sent via email. And then Tanya asked a great question, and sometimes I don't touch on these things because I feel as though they're obvious, but I know that I should be talking about everything. Is each blog unique to the client it has been written for? Absolutely. Each writer, each team is assigned to that specific client in that post, and each post is only ever used once. I'm getting quite a few questions from a number of partners. This is more of an internal question about who Steady Content is available for. You know, depending on the subscription or the type of partner that you are with Vendasta, if this is available to you. So Steady Content blog posts are available to everybody on the platform, regardless of what subscription or what level you're at. We try to make it so that all marketplace products, they're not fulfilled by our in-house team, but all products, so not marketing services, are available to everybody. So to answer the question, yes, I see a yay. I'm so glad you're excited. Steady Content blog post is available to everyone on the platform. Amy asks if this is a new service. And yes, we did add Steady Content a few weeks ago now, Matt. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's, excuse me, that sounds correct. I think it was the 8th.
Yes. Okay, so this is a cool question, Matt, and it's something that we kind of spoke about, so I might be letting the cat out of the bag here. Marie asks, is it possible to have the content written for a client who wants to post the blogs themselves, which absolutely you can deliver via email, or on a social feed? Any chance we could touch on that, Matt?
Sure, absolutely. So we're in the process right now of developing the ability to have the blogs automatically share to Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, and another service that people are not familiar with. Usually it's called Google for Business, which puts the blog posts right into the map view when someone searches and pulls up one of your businesses.
Perfect. And so Matt and I have been talking, and as soon as they have that available, we're going to strategize on how to include that in the marketplace, and we will be sure to let all of you know of when that happens. Rick has another great question. Again, something I should have touched on. I apologize. So if you or your client have a WordPress site, but it's not one that Vendasta created, can you still utilize SteadyContent blog posts? And the answer is absolutely. We would love to have your website business, but even if we don't, you can still use a number of our other fantastic services and vendors, just like SteadyContent. If the blogs need to be emailed, Matt, I'll direct this to you. Are the emailed blogs illustrated? Do they include images?
Yes, absolutely. There'll be an attachment with the image.
Perfect. I think we have gone through almost all of the questions. I think it's all of them. I'm just going to take a quick look.
So there was a question from Rick saying, asking if the WordPress site is not a Vendasta created one. I don't know if how that exactly works if you guys have a relationship with WordPress, but so long as the plugin is installed, the WordPress site can be from anywhere.
Yes, precisely. Sorry if I didn't make that clear earlier. If it is a site that Vendasta is hosting, we use WordPress, we have Website Pro, and this is a site that Vendasta has created, we could probably do the plugin work for you, and that would all just be confirmed on our end, but that would take one step out of the equation there. All right, Matt, is there anything else you think? Amy says, I don't see this in Marketplace. Is it in there yet? Yes, so Amy, if you're in Partner Center, let me see if I can quickly log in actually. Perfect, once it loads.
While you're looking at that, Rick, a blog a month in this economy right now, I would say is probably not enough. If you want to actually rank, your competition is posting once a day. So blogging once a week is probably a minimum.
Great, thank you, Matt. I am now in Partner Center. I'm in a test environment, so things will look a little wonky, but you likely know what this is and it's familiar to you. If you hit up Marketplace, Discover Products, I just started typing in SteadyContent, and that's the product. If you still go through these steps and you don't see it, send me a quick message. I'll reach out to you personally after this webinar, but it is in there and it should be available for everyone.
You have a segment there called content and experience. If you click that, do we show up in there?
I believe so. Let me check.
There's a tab over on the,
So again, I'm in a test environment, so things are going to show up a little grosser than they should. And this is alphabetical, so if we go down, SteadyContent, yeah. The easiest way is to just type the first word into the search box, but yeah, SteadyContent does currently exist under content and experience. Lloyd asks if we include images with the blog post, but I think that was an old question, so yes, Matt, you do. And I think that was it. Matt, do you think we missed any questions? Anything else you wanted to add?
Just that we have great support, and we're going to be there for you. There's not going to be a situation where you're reaching out to us and no one's getting back to you and you're not getting answers. That's with a lot of content companies that can be really frustrating.
I can only imagine. Matt, thank you so much for being on the line. You really ran through this whole webinar. You did a great job running through all of the questions and answering everything. So again, thank you so much. We're so excited to have SteadyContent in the marketplace.
Thank you, Amy. The people at Vendasta are lucky to have you.
Oh, thanks so much. Like Matt mentioned, we are so excited for SteadyContent to be here. Please go into Marketplace, take a look around. If you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or Matt. One thing I want to highlight, and it's very cool, if you're in the product and you go through it and you have some questions and you're still not getting what you need, and instead of maybe calling Vendasta, you want to quickly just hit contact us and fill out this form. This information comes to myself and Matt's team, so you have a direct line of communication with the vendor, Matt in this case, at all times. I hope to see you next week on the webinar. If you go to vendasta.com/webinar, you can see what we have going on. And this recording or this session will be recorded and posted, and you'll all get a copy of it. So again, Matt, thank you so much. Thank you everyone on the line. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.